Greetings everyone, I am the Mad Scientist, aka Dr. J. Despite calling myself a gamer, and despite being into gaming for most of my life, there are a lot of classic video games that I simply haven't played. My family didn't spend a lot on games, and since my parents actually did their research into anything I was interested in, I didn't get to play games with an M rating until I was actually 17. That also, unfortunately, caused me to have a fair amount of ignorance for what was going on in the gaming world outside of my own little zone of interest. So let's fix that problem. This is the beginning of a series I am tentatively calling Through the Looking Glass. The idea is that I go through a game I haven't played before from start to finish, and then do a conclusion video to see what it was remembered for, and to see how well it holds up today. I hope to expose myself to more of our gaming past, help younger gamers understand how far gaming has come, and to give those who have nostalgia for a game a terrible headache as I stumble through it. To start us off, I'm going to play a game that I've gotten to play a little bit of, but haven't been able to enjoy to its fullest, Diablo II. When I was 14, my dad broke the no-rated M rule for the first and only time with the original Diablo, an action RPG that invented the isometric dungeon crawler. It might not be my favorite game anymore, but it set the baseline, the golden standard of what I love from video games. Atmosphere, soundtrack, addicting gameplay that keeps you coming back for more. It had everything. The best part about it was that it was also a game I could talk to my dad with. Before he even allowed me to play it, he had gone through the game to completion at least 10 times over, and even with that much time spent on the game, I still found a weapon that my dad had never even seen before. Through that game, I was later introduced to Torchlight, which introduced me to Steam, which then destroyed my grades in high school years later. So if you ever ask me about why I love gaming to where I spend too much time with it, it's all my dad's fault. Just saying. However, he refused to budge on Diablo II, which is unfortunate because neither of us got to experience it as much, even when I was allowed to play it. The problem was, in order to progress, we couldn't just save and quit whenever. We had to reach the next checkpoint because all the monsters would respawn across the entire game, and if we didn't reach that checkpoint, we would have to slog through even more of them. While Diablo was a game we could pick up and put down very easily based on what happens in our life, Diablo 2 wasn't. My dad didn't even finish the first act, and I didn't get much further than that. Since I haven't gotten terribly far, I'm going to count it as a game I haven't played yet because I haven't gotten to see half of what it offers, and I never got to play to the expansion, Lord of Destruction. Besides, if you play one Diablo-style game, you've pretty much played all of them. I might be breaking my own rules on my first try at this series, but who cares? It's Diablo, for crying out loud. If there is a game that you would like me to check out, leave a comment with your suggestion following these basic rules. The game must be a title that has a fair amount of nostalgia behind it and be at least 5 years old. For the time being, I also want to stay within the realm of PC. There are a lot of great console games out there from previous generations, but I don't have a controller of any description, and I don't want to mess around with emulation until I understand it better. Don't be afraid to suggest a game that I actually have played. If you can name it, I can almost guarantee that I haven't played it, and I'll let you know if I have actually played a game. For now, though, let's get back to the game at hand. Time to gaze through the looking glass, towards a time before auction houses, full skill respecs, and always online DRM bullshit. This is Diablo 2.
So, Marius, at last I find you.
Tyrael, yes. Yes, now I recognize you. I should have known you'd travel in disguise. They're always watching.
I've been searching for you for a long time, Marius. I was rather beginning to think you didn't want to be found.
Oh, forgive me, Tyrael, please. It wasn't my fault.
Not your fault. Tell me, Marius, how was it not your fault?
The Wanderer. Yes, it was the Wanderer. My days at the Rogue Citadel seem so long ago. I sought refuge from my memories in the company of other outcasts, high in the mountains past the Eastern Gate.
Do you want something?
Oh, I fought sleep for days at a time. For when I dreamt, the memories would return. Memories of the monastery and the evil which had claimed it. Dreams, memories. I couldn't tell the difference anymore. Had the evil from my dreams followed me at my heels? How had he found me here? How could this broken shell of a man, barely able to carry the weight of his own sword, be the burning terror which drove me to hide here? He seemed to have demons of his own that he struggled to contain. And he was losing. As I watched, I became convinced that I was truly mad. The terror, the destruction, the evil I witnessed, how else could I explain them? Were these the demons from my dream, or were they born within the Wanderer? Why did I follow him? I don't know. Why do things happen as they do in dreams? All I know is that when he beckoned, I had to follow him. And from that moment, we traveled together east. Always into the east.
I have no idea what to pick. Huh. Let's see, the Sorceress is what I normally play. I like magic wielders in general, but... I'm interested to see what the Druid has to offer. Well, ain't you loud. What about you? Ah, heck with it. We'll go with the Sorcerer. Why not? I like Sorcerers.
Good day.
Oh, what is this?
Greetings, stranger. I'm not surprised to see your kind here. Many adventurers have traveled this way since the recent troubles began. No doubt you've heard about the tragedy that befell the town of Tristram. Well, some say that Diablo, the Lord of Terror, walks the world again. I don't know if I believe that, but a dark wanderer did travel this route a few weeks ago. He was headed east to the mountain pass guarded by the rogue monastery. Maybe it's nothing, but evil seems to have trailed in his wake. You see, shortly after the wanderer went through, the monastery's gates to the pass were closed, and strange creatures began ravaging the countryside. Until it's safer outside the camp and the gates are reopened, I'll remain here with my caravan. I hope to leave for Lut Gulain before the shadow that fell over Tristram consumes us all. If you're still alive then, I'll take you along.
Well, that's encouraging.
You should talk to Akara, too. She seems to be the leader of this camp. Maybe she can tell you more.
Fair enough. Where did the sound go? Ah, there we go. That's much better. Why would I want to turn off Matt Uelmen's wonderful soundtrack? Come on. Game, what is wrong with you? Come on. Alright, this must be a Kara.
Greetings, young sorceress. It is good to see more of your kind at work in the world these dark days. In my opinion, the world needs more women to fight against the Great Shadow. But I am forgetting my manners. I am Akara, High Priestess of the Sisterhood of the Sightless Eye. I welcome you, traveler, to our camp, but I'm afraid I can offer you but poor shelter within these rickety walls. You see, our ancient sisterhood has fallen under a strange curse. The mighty citadel, from which we have guarded the gates to the east for generations, has been corrupted by the evil demoness Andariel.
Aren't most demonesses evil? Just saying.
She turned many of our sister rogues against us and drove us from our ancestral home. Now the last defenders of the sisterhood are either dead or scattered throughout the wilderness. I implore you, stranger, please help us. Find a way to lift this terrible curse, and we will pledge our loyalty to you for all time.
That seems to be a bit much, but then again...
There is a place of great evil in the wilderness.
I'll say it after this.
Kasha's rogue scouts have informed me that a cave nearby is filled with shadowy creatures and horrors from beyond the grave. I fear that these creatures are massing for an attack against our encampment. If you are sincere about helping us, find the dark labyrinth and destroy the foul beasts. May the Great Eye watch over you.
You seem to be a little bit extreme if you'd be willing to offer your loyalty to me. But at the same time, since that your order has been pretty much wiped out, or hurt pretty badly, I guess you'd be desperate. Makes me wonder how desperate you are, though.
Welcome, Outlander, to our glorious hovel. I know you're here to challenge the evil that's driven us from our ancestral home. But know this. Akara may be our spiritual leader, but I command the rogues in battle. It will take more than just killing a few beasts in the wilderness to earn my trust.
I've been spending a lot of time in Torchlight lately, and just seeing the difference in how different they are. I know I'm repeating myself, but still, it's jarring.
Good day to you, partner. I'm Guy, and I can already tell that I'll be your best friend in this forsaken camp.
Really?
A spare weapon, some gold, a small gem is all I want in exchange for the equipment you'll need on whatever quest you might undertake. No, don't be shy. All of my items are guaranteed for life and come with a 2-day warranty.
I'm sure. But just seeing how much character there is, and seeing how little there is in the Torchlight characters, and the fact that it's almost the same developers, except from a few, I think from Fate is what they developed, but still, it's jarring.
Hi there. I'm Charcy, the blacksmith here in camp. It's good to see some strong adventurers around here. Many of our sisters fought bravely against Diablo when he first attacked the town of Tristram. They came back to us true veterans, bearing some really powerful items. Seems like their victory was short-lived, though. Most of them are now corrupted by Ondario.
Bad voice acting aside, you actually get a sense of who these people actually are. You don't really get that with the shopkeepers and quest givers in Torchlight. I feel like I'm gonna end up drawing a lot of conclusions. I've been thinking of how exactly to present...
Evil beware.
Well then. I've been thinking of a way that maybe I could mention to the Runic developers what they got wrong in Torchlight, because, let's face it, that game has really good mechanics, and is really fun. I've spent far too much time with it, as my Steam account will no doubt tell you. But, the fact of the matter is, the story, less than ideal. And it comes down to more than just the sheer complexity of it, or lack thereof, and how invested we are. It comes down to the atmosphere as well. You'll probably get to see a little bit more once we get down into a darker area, but this place has some heavy atmosphere. This is not a friendly place. At the same time, they weren't exactly going for a heavy place when it came to Torchlight, but at the same time, its art style seemed to be, well, pretty, but the story didn't seem to match. I don't know, I could rant on for days about story. At the same time, this is an action RPG, so in the end, it doesn't really matter a whole lot, but you can at least try. You can at least give something nice. I imagine that they did try a little bit for Torchlight. They did get a writer on board, and admittedly, I don't think he did a good... he or she, I'm not sure exactly what, did a very good job. But at the same time, given the circumstances, I'm not too surprised as to what came about. You try getting something as complex as what they were throwing together, and try and make something good out of it. Haven't I seen that shrine before? Where's the shrine? Close enough. It had the same effect, as in very little effect. So, who cares? Okay, last time I played this, there were a lot more monsters wandering around. And less empty field. I'm a little concerned right now. Okay, there's a zombie. Come on, where are the... oh wow, I've already found the Den of Evil? Okay, definitely don't want to go in there just yet. Let's see what else I can find first. I want to actually get some levels before I dive into high-level monsters. Well, higher-level monsters. We're nowhere near the bad stuff yet, if I'm not mistaken. There's something. Okay, now we're seeing Fallen. Die! Die. You get a what is this? Firebolt. Okay, fair enough. You get a firebolt, and you get a firebolt. Okay. Wait, was that a zombie? Yes, it was. Die. Huh, that took it out in one hit. I thought it took more than that. Oh well. There is some RNG that goes into the damage. Let's see. Okay, what else have we got? Alright. Fairly basic level design, but considering the programming limitations of the day, not too... somewhat understandable. Oh no, they actually hit me! Is my life regenerating? I thought I took a hit earlier. Oh well.